Good evening. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Creations by Gwili. I am Gwili. Ed, my husband, is behind the camera. Hopefully he'll be able to catch any questions you might have during this live. Let me make sure Facebook has us, which I think I just heard his phone, so hopefully they do. But you just always gotta double check to make sure. Find my page. Make sure, yeah, there we are. Let me turn mine down and I'll catch a few comments possibly here too. Hi Barbara, good to see you. Sandy's on. Okay, good.
Tina Kelly.
Okay, hi Tina.
Barbara Rosecrans.
All right, we're going to get started tonight. Again, this will be a fairly quick video, but y'all know I try to prep things and do as much ahead of time as I can, because I just don't see having you on here just to
Karen Boyd.
hi Karen, just to have you watching paint dry. So we will go, I always go through what I have done, and if I ever go through something too fast, or I'm talking too fast, or you don't understand, please feel free to reach out to me, contact me, or put something in the comments and I'll catch it and we'll go back over it. I don't want to go through things so fast that y'all don't understand, but I want to be very mindful of your time. And the reason I started doing my lives is so that I could share some things with you so that you could make your own home decor. Very inexpensive. In fact, the piece we're going to be working on tonight, you can buy the wood piece at Target. Well, I was in there the other day and they still had several of them, so hopefully your Target still has it out. But I love to give away thank you gifts. Ed and I were just talking about there's certain words you're not supposed to use, and it's hard to describe what I want to do without calling it a GIVEAWAY or a PRIZE, or but it's something I do because I love sharing things, and it's just my thank you to you for watching my lives and being loyal. You're not really customers, but in a way you are. But followers. Yeah, there, I'll find the right word. Something happens when he turns on the iPad and my mind says, shoo. Anyway, if you're catching this live, you'll know because there's a live button up there. I go live every Monday and Thursday at 6 o'clock. And a lot of times we do wreaths, a lot of times we do just fun crafts that I've seen on Pinterest or other places, and I usually try to give a shout out if I remember where I saw it, and then maybe put my own spin on it. But anyway, the way you get your name, we call it our blessing bag, and what we've been doing for this month, Monday's the last day, right? We may still do it the whole month of June. I'm not sure what we'll do for June, but for May, what we've been doing is every week giving a thank you. And you have to have the mystery word to be able to put hashtag. This week the word is stencil.
About 5 people's already done it.
Okay, great. That means they were watching Monday when I gave the mystery word. I give a new mystery word every Monday, show you what the blessing is, and tell you how to get it. You don't have to be on the live to be eligible. You can be watching the replay. Just put in hashtag stencil. Every Monday I go through the last week's 2 videos, put all the names in our blessing bag, and then on Monday during the live we will draw. This is the blessing for this week. It is a stencil for Magnolia Design Company, and it is the Pledge of Allegiance. Very fitting right now. Unopened. This is a reusable stencil you can use over and over and over. You can put it on canvas, you could put it on wood. Magnolia actually sells the surface in this shape this stencil fits perfectly on. I don't have that surface, but this is the stencil that you're putting, hashtag stencil. We will put your names in the bag and draw next Monday. So we've got that out of the way. Okay, so I actually did find a wood surface at Target that is in the shape of the United States. It was $5. It's in there like dollar bins right at the front of the store where everything is dollar and up. It was just a wood, actually it might be MDF, I don't know,
Pressboard.
but pressboard or something. But it's fairly sturdy. Will not stand on its own, but I'm going to prop it up on my mantle. So what I did is I went ahead and prepped this board. What I did is I took and painted the whole thing white with Waverly white paint. Then I gave this a second coat. Then I did an outline because I want to end up red, white, and blue. We're going to stencil in red. So I did an outline of the blue, and it is called Ocean from Waverly. This makes a very good patriotic blue called Ocean, and it's just Waverly. You buy it at Walmart. Anyway, so then yesterday I waxed this surface. When you're using Magnolia Design stencils on wood, painted wood especially, you want to make sure that you put a wax, and I didn't bring my wax out here, but it's just the Minwax finishing wax that you get from Home Depot or Lowe's. You probably can even get it at Walmart. I think Ed went to get the can. It's the natural one. I have one also, dark colors, that I kind of use for an antiquing stain. But the one that I wax my wood surface is the natural. I think it's on the second shelf, Ed. But the reason for that is these surfaces and we're going to use this particular, the top part of the stencil, the flag, distressed flag. That's what this is called, distressed flag. It's an 8.5 by 11, and you get, it's got it cut in 3 pieces, and I'm not positive what this distressed line is, unless you did a canvas and you wanted to separate the 2 words. I'm not sure. I'm just going to use this top part for tonight. But this is the finishing wax. It's just Minwax, yeah, natural. And all you do is put it on your paint, because this is chalk paint. Sometimes it kind of has a rough texture. You could even sand it a little bit if you want to. And then you just put it on. I leave mine about 15 minutes, and then I just wipe it off. And if I'm just working on something for myself, or even when I'm designing to go in my Etsy store, I like to give things plenty of time. So I usually wax the surface the day before. I will put wax on this yesterday. I just want to make sure everything's dry and good before we go put the stencils on. If you have any questions about Magnolia Design Company, they are a company that sells reusable stencils. They sell, we're going to be using the paste in this Old Glory Blue, and it's pretty close. I did a little bit of it and let it dry. It's pretty close to this color. But there's a difference between your paste and your chalk paint. You can use this, but you might want to put something in it or leave it out a little while and let it thicken up. Your chalk paste is thicker to keep from bleeding. And then we're going to use the Candy Apple Red. We know it's paste because it has a black lid. If you'll look back on my video from Monday, I did a t-shirt and the lids were white. That means it's ink. Goes on fabric or glass, mugs and things like that, where you can heat seal it and make it permanent. I should have worn my t-shirt tonight. Maybe next week I'll put on the t-shirt. But anyway, if you have any questions about Magnolia, just send me a message and I'll PM you. Barbara Rosecran actually joined my team last week, and I'm tickled to death to have her. Barbara, your fuzzy towel is in the mail. You should be getting it any day now. Anyone who joins my team to become a creator with Magnolia, I send them a fuzzing cloth, which is what we're going to fuzz our stencil with. But you don't have to become a creator to order from my website. You can just look at their stencils and order whatever you want to order. They ship it straight to you. I don't do anything. I don't see your credit card. I don't deal with the money. Magnolia handles all of that. So if you're interested in maybe becoming a creator, just PM me and I'll go over some things about that with you. Okay, so I told you what I did to my board from Target. Okay, it's pretty much ready. Before I cut the stencil and everything, I bought these words from the Dollar Tree. There's 2 in a pack. Let me tell you, anytime you see words like this at the Dollar Tree, grab them. Faith, believe, home, love, family. There's so many things that you can do with them, and they're a good size. So now that things are $1.25, I guess that's a little about 60 cents each, because there's 2 of them. I had a few minutes before we went live, so I gave my word 1 coat of the same Waverly, but so that it could dry. I see that it needs just a little touching up, so we're going to do that and give it time to dry while I stencil the other. Do y'all have any questions? Okay, I'm just going to add a little bit right here. There's just a couple of places it just looks like it needs a little second coat. But it won't take it long. Chalk paste dries really fast. I could distress it if I wanted to, but I'm not necessarily going for the distressed look as much. Our stencil is going to have some distressed look to it. Like I said, this is called Ocean, but it's a very good blue for Patriotic. We're going to do some firecrackers in a week or so, and I'll use the same color blue. It's just a good shade. Okay, I think that pretty much got that. It just needed a little touch up here and there. So I'm going to put my brush in water, because I'm not going to be using the brush anymore. Close up my paint. See, I mean, I hadn't done anything and I got paint all over me. So always keep a wet rag, baby wipes, something fairly close to you when you're painting. But as y'all could guess, maybe we're going to put this word over the top of this stencil when we get it on there. Okay, so I'm just going to set that over there and let it be drying while we get our stencil ready. This is a brand new stencil. I've not opened it. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it's still available on the website, and it's a distressed flag. And then at the bottom it says, "In loving memory of those who are forever present in our hearts." So I'm going to open my stencil, and the first thing I'm going to do is mark the back of it, so that after I wash my stencil, I know what side to put the stencil back on. So we're going to do that. Get my scissors. This is an 8.5 by 11, but they do give you the lines.
Marie says good evening.
Marie. Hi, Marie.
Faith Marie.
Huh?
Faith Marie.
Oh, okay. Are you called Marie or Faith? I thought you meant Carrie Marie. Okay, so that wasn't good. Just knocked my home off. Okay, so I'm only going to use this part of the stencil. And I'm going to use 2 colors. Let me just mark the back of my stencil. I can just mark it with an X. If you use several stencils, if you have several stencils out at the same time that you're working on, you might want to write the name on the back of the thing, but I'll just have this one, so I don't have to worry about that.
And you do that because one side's
shiny, one side's dull, and I always forget which side that sticky's supposed to go on. So that's why I do that. Okay, let me get my paste ready. You want your paste to be the consistency roughly of yogurt or mashed potatoes, and you stir it to activate the paste. And I only have a little spot that I'm going to do blue up there. So I'm just going to stir that. And I'm going to go ahead and get my red
Faith
out.
Marie says she's watching from upstate New York, Lake
Oh.
Ontario.
Oh wow, way up there. I'll bet you're cool, huh? We're from west, southwest Texas.
Southeast Texas.
Southeast Texas, yeah. And we've had a beautiful day today. The humidity's been low because we had a couple of days that we had some rain, and it was just so nice. It's warmed up out there today, but okay. So I need to order some more red. I believe I'm getting I've used that candy apple red a lot. Probably Christmas last year. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, the first thing you do after you've cut it, marked it, is since it's being done on wood, I need to fuzz it. That's just putting a little bit of fuzz on my stencil because, see, this side is really sticky.
And it could possibly pull up, especially if you don't wax it.
Exactly. It could pull up your paint. So you just want to put a little bit of fuzz on there. You don't want fuzz in the white part, but that's not sticky, so your fuzz is getting on the sticky part. Every now and then, a piece will run over, but not usually. So I'm just going to do it a couple of times. You don't have to have the fuzzing cloth. You can do it on your clothes. It just takes a little bit of the sticky away. Once you've used the stencil 6, 7, 8 times, you might not even have to fuzz it at all. Okay, so then I'm just going to decide where on my stake I want to put my stencil, kind of in the middle, and it may not fit exactly corner to corner. And of course, it's not going to be exactly the middle either because of the way the United States is. All right, I felt something. Yeah. And I'm going to have my home over the top of it. So, and it's, you can tell by looking at, I'll turn it around in a second. There's something there too. You can feel when you get something underneath there. It's probably time to put my fuzzy towel in the washing machine. It's got little pieces of something on it. But this stencil is a distressed look anyway. I'll turn it around in a second. See, I feel there's something there, but it's under the green. It's no big deal. So I'm going to push it down. Everywhere that you see white is where there's going to be paste applied. Right, let me turn it around. Everywhere where there's white is where there's going to be paste. And see, there's a bubble there. I can see it. I can take a squeegee if I want to. A lot of people do that. Get those bubbles out of that stencil. And I think probably, I don't normally have a problem with bubbles, but I think because this is up over the stencil in a couple of places, it's a weird shape. I think that's probably what is giving me the bubbles a little bit, because I can't lay it flat everywhere. But I think that's okay. See, I can't lay this part over here down because it... Okay, I think that's okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is...
The blue part's up about a 16th or an 8th.
What do you mean? Oh, raised?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's not much. Just enough that you can't lay it anything like flat there.
About an 8th.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to make a blue area just right here. Gonna try to do it fairly straight there. Not exactly, because like I said, it's got that distressed look to it anyway, because you can see over here, see, that's not a straight line. This blue will probably stain my stencil, but that's okay as long as I wash it and get the blue out of the clear areas. And I probably didn't want to do that blue. Oh well, I've already done it now. Okay. I'm going to get my square going there. I don't remember if there were stars under there or not, but that's okay. And you know, if I don't like it, I can wash it off and do it again, repaint it or whatever. There's no mistake that you can't fix. All right, so now I'm going to do red in all these other areas. Try to get as close to that blue up there as I can get without mixing it and making what, purple? You know what blue and red make? Purple?
You asking me.
You don't have to push hard. All right, let's see if I can go down straight here. Now I think I just, yeah, I got some red up there on my blue, but I'm going to try to wash that off. If not, I'll touch it up with a little paint, and you'll never know I got it on there. You want to make sure you get all the areas. See, this is not laying down flat, so I'm going to try to run right up against that blue, where my line, my red stripe starts right there. And I got some blue on my squeegee. So we're just gonna go with it and see what happens. All right. You don't want to pull from the corner. You want to pull both sides and then straight up. See where I got the red there? Okay, you can see what I mean by distressed. So I didn't have to worry about trying to stay in lines. I'm going to take my stencil and put it in the water. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and try to get off. I'm not going to worry about this because I can go back over that with a paintbrush. But I'm going to get my red off my blue up here. But you can see where it's definitely a distressed look. See the flag? See where I mixed my blue with my red? But like I said, I can take a, I don't have a small paintbrush. I do have one, but it's got blue on it. Let's see if I can get it clean. But I need to dry this before I try to fool with it. Before I put my sign on it or anything, I just need to dry it a little bit. Once it's dry, there's a lot of different ways to fix any kind of mistake. They actually have paint markers, but I think I can just fix it with a brush. You know, and if I just totally hated it, now I'm not selling this, it's going to go on my mantle, so I'm not upset about it. If I just totally hated it, I could just wipe it off, repaint with white, and start over. You might could get it all off with just wiping it now. It doesn't take long for it to dry at all. But what I'm going to do is see if I can't just put my brush in the red paint. And I don't even have to worry if it's straight because, like I said, it's a distressed line anyway. I just don't want that blue right there. So dominant.
So I like how it looks old and tattered.
It does.
If flag stays in Texas weather very long, it'll look just like that.
Yeah. Okay, so I just kind of tried to fix it with my brush. It did pretty good, and I'm going to have that home sign over the top of it anyway. So I'm going to put all this in my water over here, and when I get done, this tub will go to the sink, and I will just wash that paste off. Use a disinfectant wipe on the back side to reactivate the sticky, and then let it dry with the sticky side up, and then reuse it on something else. Okay, let me dry this a little bit more. Let me, so you can see, I don't know if you can see. Hang on. Just being in the water for a few minutes. You see how it's already coming off? And then I'll just clean it. They're not hard to clean at all. Sometimes black, especially ink, I have found, I think the ink stains more. Now, last week, remember, I'm just going to give this a second to dry. Last week I did the t-shirt, Land of the Free, Home of the Brave, or something like that. And the blue did stain my stencil, but it didn't stick in the stars. It stained the green part of it.
It didn't clog up the
Right,
perforation.
Yeah, the pores, the openings, and that's okay if it stains the green. It's no big deal. Okay, so y'all see how just quick and easy this was, even though I did the painting ahead of time. But I love this stencil. It's very, like she said, tattered and torn, which is really good for the saying and in loving memory of. And I don't think it needs a bow or anything. I think it makes just cute decor like it is. So all you have to do, I'm pretty sure my home is dry. And since it's just for me and I'm not going to worry about selling it, I'm just going to glue the home in a couple of spots. Just going to put a little hot glue. It's not going outside, so I don't have to worry about, I'm not going to use the E6000.
One of these days you need to take the camera in there and get a picture of your mantle.
My fireplace. I'm just now beginning to put all this stuff I've made on it. I don't have anything on my garland yet. It's just the same black and white with the burlap. Haven't decided for sure what I'm going to do with the garland. I'll probably just put some star. Oh yeah, I'm working on some flowers.
Faith Marie says I use an awesome cleaner from Dollar Tree. Won't hurt your stencils.
Well, I'll tell you, I tried that. It didn't get off the blue ink either. But yeah, the awesome is awesome. I think I've got 2 bottles of it over there. All right, so I just kind of, now that doesn't want to stick, but I've got my glue gun on low. I might ought to put it on high. It dried before I could put it down. But you could definitely use E6000 if you wanted to. That's better. If it pops off, I will. Now, if you want to, one quick tip, if you want to get rid of those glue things, just put your heat thing on low and just run it over there. You got to be careful because it will heat up the glue you've got underneath there too. But it kind of gets rid of those glue spiders, web things. But that's really all I plan to do to it. It's just, oops, there's one of those spider webs. It's just to set it up on the mantle like that. So that was quick and easy, very inexpensive. You've got about 60 cents in this, and you don't have to, if you don't have a stencil, just put some red lines across it or something. And the board was from Target for $5. I actually tried to check that stencil and see if I could turn it over, but it's not a perfect match, that stencil and the back side of the board, it's turned wrong. But like I said, if you're interested, Magnolia does sell, it's an MDF, which is probably what this is, press board or something. But it's made for that stencil and it will fit perfectly. So I don't think it needs a bow or anything. Since it's mine, I would just maybe put a little heart down there where we live. That's a possibility if you wanted to do that wherever you live. But that's it for tonight. Very inexpensive, easy to do, and it's a nice statement piece. But like I said, I don't always find these words in our Dollar Tree, but when you find them, grab them, because there's so many things that you can do with them. So, all right, that's it for tonight. Don't forget to put in your hashtag stencil to be eligible to receive this unopened stencil from Magnolia Design. I will be back Monday. I know it's a holiday, and y'all have a great weekend. Enjoy your holiday, but be safe. If you go near the water, watch your kids and be careful, especially down here around the Gulf and stuff. And we have rip currents like crazy, and there's always children that end up tragically drowning during the holidays. But have a safe holiday, but you can always go back and watch the replay if you're not home Monday night. But I will be back Monday night at 6 o'clock. I actually think what I'm going to do is a rustic tapered candle on a star. And but I think that's what's going to be Monday night. So I hope y'all enjoyed this quick little craft, and go back and look through what I added in my Etsy shop. I did 2, if not 3, patriotic wreaths this week to get them up on the shop. So go in there and check those out. And y'all have a great weekend. Stay safe. And remember what we're celebrating. Remember those that are no longer with us because of the wars and stuff. So thank y'all. We'll see you Monday at 6. Bye-bye.